Okay, so we're at our last 10 pages of Tangerine. So if you're reading the book, it's page 140. So we're just going to go right up to 150. It's actually 151, but it's barely. It's like 2 sentences on 151. And if you're in the PDF, we are on page 87, Wednesday, September 27th. I'm going to shut the door because that cat's making some noise. I don't wake up my kids. Okay, here we go. Hey, how was your weekend? Good. Okay, here we go. Wednesday, September 27th. Oh, yeah. There was that call from Carrie Gardner. Well, Kara Clifton. Here we go. Wednesday, September 27th. The coach wouldn't let Victor practice today because of his stitches. He stomped away, threatening to go home and pull them out himself. Once again, I got put in his place. I had a couple of opportunities to score against Chandra, but I didn't. Victor returned near the end of practice carrying a super big gulp from the 7-Eleven. He stood down in the far goal where I usually stand, and as usual, the ball never went there. He started to get on Joey's case, telling him to stop standing around doing nothing. But the coach soon noticed him and told him to get out of there. After practice, I got my bag and started walking with Joey when Victor fell into step behind us. His boys, of course, were right behind him. Hey, fisherman, since you're mean now, do you want a drink of my big gulp? No, thank you, Victor. What? You too good to drink out of my big gulp? Yes, I am. Tino, Hernando, and Mano started laughing. Victor smiled and continued, Hey, fisherman, why is this boy always following you around? I glanced at Joey. He was looking straight ahead. I don't know, Victor. Why don't you ask him? Victor tapped Joey on the shoulder with his cup. Hey, yo, why are you following fisherman around all the time? Joey looked upset. He didn't know how to handle this. I smiled to show him that Victor was just messing around, but he wouldn't even look at me, and he wouldn't answer. I knew that things were about to get worse. Victor tapped him again, a little harder. His voice got a little louder. Yo, I said, why you following fisherman around all the time? You his boyfriend or something? Joey turned toward him angrily. No, I'm not. Victor ignored him and started on me. Fisherman, you can't take 2 steps without this boy following you. What's up with that? He's some kind of fish, maybe? Does he think you're going to catch him? The boys behind Tino were getting into it now. Victor turned to Tino and said, Who's that fish your daddy has a picture of? You know, that fish picture that's hanging up in the hut? Tino shook his head. What are you talking about? Your daddy has that old magazine ad on the wall, making fun of Tio Carlos. Tino thought about it and then yelled out, Sorry, Charlie. Yeah, that's the dude. Sorry, Charlie. Charlie the tuna. He's always trying to get caught. He's always hanging around trying to get on that hook, right? He poked Joey again. Is that you? Are you Charlie the tuna? The boys were laughing wildly now. I spoke in a calm voice to Joey, Just chill out. But he wouldn't chill out. He was letting it get to him. Victor kept after him. Starkists don't want tunas with good taste, Charlie. They want tunas that taste good. The boys were laughing like maniacs now and slapping hands. Do you understand the difference, my man? Joey continued to stare straight ahead, his face red, his jaw clenched. We all reached the green pickup truck, and the boys piled into the back, still laughing about Joey. We continued on through the school. He didn't say a word until we were standing out at the curb. So what was that supposed to be? Some kind of initiation or something? Yeah, don't take it so seriously. That's just Victor. Did he ever mess with you like that? Sure, on the first day I went out for the team. And then he stopped? Yeah, sure, he stopped. Joey stared down the street, looking for Mom's car. I didn't have the heart to tell him the rest of it. Victor might stop messing with him, but his name will be Charlie the Tuna from here on out. Mom pulled up, and Joey hopped into the back seat without a word. I got in the front and noticed that Mom was staring at something ahead of us. She pulled up 10 more yards to where Maya and Nita were standing. She rolled down the window, smiled and said, Hello, girls. Maya smiled back. Hello, how are you? There was an awkward silence until Mom said, So, how is it playing against these boys? I'm not sure Maya understood the question. She answered, Oh, yes, some of them are quite good players. I think it's great that you have a co-ed team. I really do. Thank you. Mom rolled the window back up and pulled away. I said, What was that all about? I just wanted to encourage those girls a little. No wonder Maya seemed confused. I said, Mom, Maya doesn't need too much encouragement. She's the top scorer in the county, numero uno. She'll make the all-county team for sure. Mom's jaw dropped. Are you serious? That tall girl? She'll be on the all-county boys team? Yeah, so will Chandra if she doesn't get hurt. That's fantastic. Does Mr. Donnelly know about this? Mr. Donnelly? Mr. Donnelly from the Tangerine Times. This should be in the newspaper. Don't you think so, Joey? Joey was sulking pretty heavily in the back. I don't think he even heard her. We drove the rest of the way in silence. We turned into the entranceway to Lake Windsor Downs and then onto Joey's street. It was a weird sight. The houses on either side of his were completely covered by huge, bright blue tents. They had signs posted all around them. Danger, poison gas. Mom tried to make eye contact with him in the rearview mirror. Joey, why are your neighbors getting their houses tented? They got to get fumigated, he said. Fumigated for bugs. We've all got bugs. You all do? Your house too? Yeah, the whole street, I think. What kind of bugs? I don't know, roaches, termites. So are you getting one of those tents put over your house? Yeah, next week, I think. We pulled into Joey's driveway. I could see the tents better now. They were really big pieces of blue canvas tied together with ropes to hold in the poison fumes. Mom said, how long do you have to stay away when they fumigate? 2 days. Well, you're welcome to stay with us. You and Paul do everything else together. You may as well sleep together, right, Paul? I thought to myself, perfect, Mom. The perfect thing to say under the circumstances. Joey got that upset look on his face again. He muttered, I don't think so, and went inside. Mom turned to me. What's with him? Why wouldn't he want to come to our house? I shrugged and I said, I don't know. But of course I do know. Joey hasn't set foot in our house since the day he met up with Eric and Arthur. He will never set foot in it again. But Mom could never understand that. For Joey, our house may as well be covered with canvas and bound by ropes because it's filled with poison. Friday, September 29th. Joey didn't show up for practice yesterday, but someone else did. We had been loosening up for about 10 minutes. The starters, including Victor, were taking shots at Chandra in the goal. The subs, including me, were kicking a ball around in a circle. I looked over toward the bus lanes and saw a white van pulling in. It had 2 high-tech-looking antennae on top, one on the back that looked like a corkscrew, and one in the middle that swiveled. Anyway, this van kept driving right off the blacktop and over the grass toward our field. When it got closer, I could see that Tangerine Times was printed on the side. I suddenly got a sick feeling. Mom had actually done it. She had called Mr. Donnelly about our team, or at least about the girls on our team. The van pulled up next to Betty Bright's car, her 1967 yellow and white Mustang. A young guy with long hair and a big camera hanging around his neck jumped out of the driver's side. He set a black leather case down on the back of the Mustang. Mr. Donnelly got out of the other side. He had on a blue suit and carried a small notebook. He walked straight up to the coach, who was on the sideline talking to Dolly. I drifted toward them to hear what they would say. It was obvious that Mr. Donnelly and Betty Bright knew each other. She shook hands with him and gave him a big smile. She stopped smiling pretty fast, though, when she saw the long-haired guy's case on her car. She started walking over there just as the photographer closed in on Nita and Maya and started taking pictures. Mr. Donnelly walked with her, opening his notebook. He said, I understand that you have a couple of pretty special players on your team this year. The coach took the photographer's bag and dumped it on the ground. She said, uh-huh, and who would that be? Mr. Donnelly flipped back a few pages in his notebook. A girl named Maya and a girl named Chandra. They're both supposed to make the all-county boys team. When Dolly heard this, she yelled over, Hey, Chandra, they want to talk to you, girl. Chandra had been focused on the shooters all this time. When she heard Dolly, she looked over, puzzled. Then she spotted the Tangerine Times van and the long-haired guy with his camera. A look of terror came over her face. She spun around on her heels and sprinted away, right out of the goal, across the field, across the bus lanes, and into the school. Everybody stopped what they were doing and watched her go. Now that there was no one in goal, Victor walked up to the photographer and announced, You must be here to interview me. I'm Victor Guzman, the captain of the first-place Tangerine Middle School War Eagles. How do you do? The guy looked over at Mr. Donnelly. Then he said, Excuse me, and tried to get around Victor, but Victor blocked him and added, You probably want to get some action shots of me before you do anything else. The photographer stared at him dumbly. Then he stepped back and lined up a picture of Victor, who struck a pose and smiled. The camera flashed and Victor added, That's Victor Guzman. You know how to spell that? G-U-Z-M-A-N. Don't you go spelling my name wrong. I'll have to mess you up. Hernando, Tino, and Mano crowded in front of the photographer next, telling him their names and demanding that he take their pictures. The guy looked over at Mr. Donnelly, who signaled at him to go ahead and do it. Mr. Donnelly said, Look, Betty, I'm sorry for disrupting your practice. Can I just get the last names of the girls? The coach still wasn't looking at him, and she still was not happy. This is more disruptive than you could know, Mr. Donnelly. If you want to run a picture of our team, you should show Victor. He's our captain. Mr. Donnelly replied, but he's not news, coach. Having girls on your team is news. Not really. I've had girls on this team for 5 years. Why is it suddenly news? Mr. Donnelly held up his hands to explain, and the coach looked at them. You're the first place team in the county. You have the top scorer in the county, and she's a girl. The coach added, all right, fair enough. Her name is Maya Pandy, P-A-N-D-H-I. He wrote this down. Great. And what about Chandra? You never mind about Chandra. She doesn't want any part of your newspapers or publicity, so that's the way it's going to be. Mr. Donnelly nodded. Okay, I'll certainly respect her wishes. They shook hands again. The guy with the long hair saw this and broke away from the boys. He grabbed his bag, climbed up into the driver's seat of the van, and the two of them drove back the way they came. Betty Bright watched them go, then slowly walked across the field and into the school. Victor sat down, so the rest of us did too. Finally, the coach and Chandra came walking out. By the time Chandra was back in goal to start the scrimmage, we had lost about 20 minutes of practice time. Like I said, all that happened yesterday. This morning I looked in the Tangerine Times in the back of the sports section. There was no article about our team, but there was a photo, the wrong photo. It was a photo of Nita Shirali with the caption, Maya Pandy leads all scorers in Tangerine County. Good going, Mom. Monday, October 2nd. I'm in classes with Teresa, Tino, Maya, Nita, Henry D. all day. Now Joey has joined that group. The first and last periods of the day, science and language arts, do cross-curricular projects in science class. Do cross-curricular projects together. That means we do a science-type project in science class, and we write about it in language arts class. I came in at the tail end of the last project, so all I could do was sit and listen to kids read their reports. They were really good. Now we're starting a new cross-curricular project. Mrs. Potter passed out a project sheet that describes what we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to do it, and how we're supposed to present it to the class. At the top of the project sheet, it says, Science, Language Arts, Cross-Curricular Project, Broad Topic, Florida Agriculture, Narrow Topic, an agricultural product that is native to this area of Florida. Your topic, question mark, question mark, question mark. Mrs. Potter gave us 24 hours to form our own groups of 4 to 6 kids. After that, she would form new groups of the leftovers, as she called them. I was looking over the project sheet with Joey when I saw Tino walking back toward us. He stopped at Henry D's desk and said, Yo, Henry D., you want to be in a group with Teresa and me? We got a hot idea. Henry D., whose real name is Henry Dilks, is a quiet country boy, always polite. He said, Thank you, I'd be pleased to. Tino bumped his fist down on top of Henry's and started back toward his desk. I called out to him, Hey, Tino, what about me and Joey? Can we be in your group? Tino stopped and looked at me surprised. He thought a minute and said, Yeah, why not? But it's our group. You got that? Yeah, sure. He returned to his seat, and Joey said to me, What'd you do that for? Do what? We got to get in a group, right? I don't want to be a leftover. So why don't we form our own group? With who? We need 4 to 6 people. With anybody but him. He shot an angry look at Tino. Come on, man. Henry's nice, super nice. So is Teresa. And Tino's okay when he's by himself. Joey shook his head. He didn't believe me. That guy's bad news. I don't need this. I don't need this at all. Hey, this isn't soccer practice. It's science class. You're an ace in science, right? Joey glared at me. What are you saying, that I stink in soccer? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that this is different. This is something that you're really good at. Joey finally agreed doubtfully. All right. Good. This will give you another chance with people, you know, a chance to get in with some of the people from the team. There was a strange pause. Joey finally said, I'm not on the team anymore. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Since when? I turned in my uniform this morning. I looked at him, but he wouldn't look back. I finally said, That's it? You're just not on the team anymore, and that's it? Joey tightened up. Yeah, that's it. So what? What's it to you? It's nothing to me. I just don't understand. I thought you wanted to play soccer. Well, I don't. Not here, anyway. He finally looked at me. Not anywhere. I'm going to play football when I get to high school. You understand that? I understood. I said, okay. And I was willing to leave it right there. But Joey wasn't. He was practically snarling now. I can't believe I let you talk me into this. He gestured around the room. I let you talk me into coming to this dump. I suddenly became aware of the other kids around us as he went on. This place is like the darkest Africa, like the Amazon jungle, like we're learning to live among the natives here. I took in the ugliness of Joey's words, and I saw for the first time how different he was from me. Different parents, different friends, different brother. The speaker came on and the song the gong sounded. I had to say something, so I muttered, "I'm sorry you feel like that," and headed out without him into the crowded hallway. So we're going to stop there. Make sure you take notes for the essay. Make sure you're keeping track of notes for your project, what you're working on, and I'll see you tomorrow.